Hey, leamorris here, and I have arranged George Gershwin's Summertime for SATB Choir. I'm going to be teaching some workshops coming up. Summer, winter, these are the prime times for me to sing this song. I love to sing it in summer for obvious reasons, and in the winter to remind myself and everyone that summer does return, and everything's going to be all right. There's a link in the description that leads to free notation and teaching MP3s of an original piece of mine called Peace Come Now. I invite you to check that out. So what I'm going to do is practice the parts with my looper. You know, I've got them worked out, I've got them notated, but I want to hear them in real time, right? And I want to kind of get a sense of the order in which I'll teach them. And so I'm gonna use my looper to let me kind of synthesize that experience. And if you haven't looped before, this is a really simple, straightforward machine to use. Plug it in to the electrical source, then plug it in where it says phones. You're going to want to use the L or mono unless you're going to use stereo, but let's assume you're using mono. You take a 1/4 inch cable and plug one into the mono or left stereo input, the other end of that cable into a speaker of some kind. I'm using my Boss S1 Pro that you can't see because it's behind the table. And then I'll take my microphone and plug one end of an XLR cable into the microphone. This is a Shure SM58. The other end into the mic jack here. And once I've turned on my speaker, I'm literally ready to go. Oh, should be ready to go. ¿Qué está pasando? Hello. Oh, ha ha ha. It is probably a good idea to also turn on the looper. So at bare minimum, you've got 3 points of contact: your electricity, your sound out to a speaker, and then into a microphone. Obviously, you can also loop with instruments, but today we're talking about a choir piece. This is great. This is a wonderful teachable moment. Also make sure that all of your connections are firm and solid. You might even have to check a cable from time to time, but okay, we are ready to play. Now, what I would do is I would start by getting everybody to sing through the song once, which means first verse, second verse, first verse again. Tell them to go wild. If they hear ad-libs or harmonies or anything they want to do, just sing it. Get into the ethos, into that spirit of the song. Not the slow, syrupy front porch iced tea version, but like a peppy, but that's where we are with this arrangement. And I have to give credit to Uli Furga and his Hallo Django. The bass is inspired by that piece. Anything else that's useful to know? So no more ado, let us move on with the arrangement. So once everybody has sung through the piece, I would then make the day of the altos by telling them that they're singing the melody. And then I'd turn to my basses and give them this groove. We're in D minor. Ba 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 ba. Doop, deep, deep, dooby dooby doop. Deep, deep, dooby dooby. Octave higher. Doop, deep, deep, dooby dooby doop. Deep, deep, dooby dooby. So that is the groove all the way through Summertime and the living is easy. So I'd have those two parts together just to kind of feel them out, just so everybody can start to feel the groove and how the melody is going to work with the groove. With the looper, I'm going to start by putting down a sort of some vocal percussion to keep the rhythm. Now, if you've got anybody in your group who's adventurous or has experience with vocal percussion, I strongly recommend considering it. And what I'm doing for this is I'm simulating brushes on a snare. So it's a simple stuff if somebody's got the groove and wants to play. 2, 3, and deep, deep, dooby dooby doop, deep, So that's 4 bars of that groove, right? And that's going to give us 2 bars of pickup into the melody. All right, let's try it from the top and bring in the alto singing the melody. Just the first couple of bars of it, because things change after that, right? Pick up. Summertime and the living is easy. Summertime and the living is easy. One more time, altos. Everybody, let me hear it again. Summertime and the living is easy. All right, so we know everybody's in the groove. Now we can bring in the tenors. And they start on the 1 as well. So you've got the do from the basses. The tenors are an octave above, and they're descending, whereas the basses are ascending. The tenors are descending from the 1. Doop, deep, deep, doobie, doop, deep, deep, doobie. Sing with me, tenors. Doop, deep, deep, doobie, doop, deep, deep, doobie. I think we got something there, all right? So let's have the basses do 1 bar up front, and then bring in the tenors, and then let them just do the doop, deep, deeps before we bring in the altos, okay? 2, 1, 2, 3, and doop, deep, deep, doobie, 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 doop, deep, deep. One more time. Deep, deep, doobie, doop, deep, deep, doobie. All right, we've got something going. We got a groove. The sopranos are our last part, and they're not starting on the 1. Neither the root note nor the 1 of the beat. They are going to come in on the 2. So we've got our basses, right? Doop, beep, and they're coming in with a response on the 2nd and the 4th beat of the measure. So, doop, deep, dee, doop, deep, dee. Let's hear that with just the basses so you get a sense of the rhythm. 2, come on, basses, and doop, deep, deep, doobie, doobie, doop, doop, deep, 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 doop, doop, deep, 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 deep. Let's bring in the tenors so we hear those together. Deep, 2, 3, and doop, doop, deep, 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 doop, deep, 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 doop. Okay, so you hear how those play together? Let's get everybody in. We're going to start with just the basses, then we'll bring in the tenors, and when the alto starts, then we'll bring in the sopranos as well. Here we go. Nice. Tenors. Now everybody. So that's the first section. And once everybody is singing that, then we've got the groove, we've got the tune, we've got the feel of the tune. And then I'll teach the next section like this. So we know the next thing we've got is fish are jumping, little cotton is high. So we'll teach that. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. All right, so we've got that. We've just the basses have come from doop, deep, deep, doobie, doobie. And from there, their first note with the fish is 1 below. Doom, a whole step below that. Doom, doom, doom. And then they're just doing a walking bass right up the scale. Doom, 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 doom. All right, let's take those together. Let's hear the melody with the bass line. So doop, deep, deep, doobie, doobie, doom, 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 doom. have a rhythmically parallel part. They're doom, doom, and two, but their movement is slightly different. Doop, deep, deep, doobie, doom. So once their last note is doobie. From there, they begin their walk from the next note up. Doom, 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 ba, 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 ba. The last four stay the same. Let's put it with the basses. Here we go. Do, do, do. Do 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 da 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 do 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 da da. Fish jumping, helicopters Great. The sopranos are singing do you you do and from there we go back to the beginning with "Oh, your daddy's rich." Same harmonic structure, and say doop 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 doobie doobie in the bass, and doop 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 doo doo in the tenor, and doop doop doo in the soprano. And then we come to the end with "Hush, little baby, don't you cry." Hush, little baby, don't you cry. Hush, little baby, don't you cry. Okay, so you see, my altos have moved to a different track. Doesn't matter. So in the basses, doop, deep, deep, doobie, doobie. Hush now, don't you. Hush now, don't you. And then we're back at the beginning. Doop, deep, deep. Told you it was easy. Okay, so let's give it a go. 2, 3, and hush, little baby, don't you. Hush now, don't you. Hush, little baby, don't you. Hush now, don't you. Tenors, rhythmically parallel. So we've come from do 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 be hush, hush, don't you. Hush, hush, don't you. So we've got three of the same. Let's give it a go with the basses. Hush, hush, don't you. Hush, hush, don't you. Hush, hush, don't you. Now you might want to talk about where to put that shh, hush, hush, right? And it's going to give a little bit of a little rhythm too. Hush, hush, don't you. So hush, little baby, don't you. Hush, don't you. And finally, the sopranos are singing. Hush, don't you. The whole soprano part is a little bit of that syrup in the iced tea, right? It's a little dramatic, a little Southern belle. Hush, don't you. Let's put those together. 2, 3, and hush, don't you. Hush, don't you. Hush, don't with the altos. Hush, don't you. Hush, little baby, don't you cry. And with cry, the one of cry, we're back at the top with doom, 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 doom. All right, let's put the whole thing together. For simplicity, I am going to start with the alto part, who are singing the melody throughout, right? So that'll give us context for the whole part. What I find with looping this song, it's actually easiest to put in the alto part all the way through because summertime is a pickup. Summer, and your time is your one. And the secret to successful looping is knowing where the one is and always orienting around the one, at least for me. So because this song has a pickup to the one, I put in the altos before I'll bring in the basses, right? So I'll bring them in, make sure I re-loop, bring around a second loop so I can pick up the pickup, and then go from there with all the rest of the parts. So I've got Summertime in the melody that we all know and love, and now here come the parts in succession, starting with the bass, then adding the tenors, then adding the sopranos. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and
It's your drum clean and the curtain is high. Oh, daddy's rich and your mama too okay. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. It's your drum clean and the curtain is high. Daddy's rich and your mama too okay. So hush, little baby, don't you
And I'd have everybody end on the 1 of that shlook. All right, so this is me practicing to teach this arrangement of Summertime at a workshop near you. Who knows? But I think I'm prepared now. I'm gonna bring my sheet music for reference, but I've heard it all in context. I've played with how I actually want to teach it section by section. Yeah, I think I'm good to go. Let me know what you think. How do you like the arrangement? What do you think of using the looper to practice? Do you do that? Do you use it in your arrangement process? Do you use it in live rehearsals or workshops when you're singing with other folks? Let me know, and you can find a link in the description to get in touch with me. If you're interested in the notation for this, of this arrangement, send me an email and let me know, and I'll send it right over to you. I'll see you soon.